Gilroy, El Paso, Dayton, and closer to home, Saturday marks the 20th anniversary of the North Valley Jewish Community Center shooting. One mass shooting after another. And across America, everyone is asking, when is it going to end? Now, many of you know that I've made it a priority throughout my public service career to take action to prevent gun violence. And it's a very personal issue to me. That North Valley Jewish Community Center shooting, I was at that scene. I went to a nearby hospital and sat in a tiny waiting room with the parents of a young boy, 5, the same age as my daughter at the time, who'd been gunned down. We waited, hoping to learn that he had survived, which thankfully he did. The thing is, we know what works. It's not like there is a single measure that's going to prevent all gun violence, but we know that those jurisdictions with the most robust gun violence prevention laws have seen the steepest declines in gun violence. Now, here in California and in Los Angeles, we have a unique problem. We have tough laws to prevent gun violence. I'm very proud to have written many of them, but the surrounding jurisdictions don't have them. The states around us don't have them. The federal government, of course, doesn't have them. So what happens? Take the Gilroy incident, for example. The shooter there bought a gun in Nevada that he could not have bought legally here, brought it over the border, and used it to shoot people in Gilroy. So what needs to happen now is that our federal government needs to take the action that wide margins of Americans are calling for. Universal background checks, a ban on assault weapons, the guns that no one needs for self-defense, a ban on high-capacity magazines that are used to spray crowds with bullets. Soon after I was elected city attorney, I reached out to the district attorney of Manhattan, and together we formed the nation's first ever coalition of prosecutors focused on gun violence prevention. It's called Prosecutors Against Gun Violence. We now have dozens of members across the country acting in a nonpartisan way, and we're doing important work. For example, we joined with the Coalition for Risk-Based Firearms Policy and wrote a blueprint for how jurisdictions can get guns out of the hands of domestic abusers. The Obama White House helped disseminate that report. Then we spoke at the Obama White House to governors and mayors and state and local legislators about steps they can take in the absence of strong congressional action when it comes to preventing gun violence. Our group has convened summits across the country on issues that range from gangs and guns to mental health issues, and will be convening in October around the 2nd anniversary of the horrible massacre that occurred at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. We'll be convening to talk about mass shootings. Now, a year ago, I was in Washington with my prosecutorial colleagues. We stood with leading senators, uniformed police chiefs, the Parkland kids, and others to call on congressional leadership to at least hold hearings and then enact the gun violence prevention measures that Americans support. And yet, Republican leadership stood by and did nothing. It is time to renew that demand now. But from the White House, we're hearing about video games and the internet and mental health issues, and precious little about the one factor that distinguishes our nation from other major nations. We have mass shootings, they don't, because we display cowardice when it comes to limiting access to guns. But this is not hopeless, and we are not helpless. Our congressional leadership needs to act with courage now. And there are steps we can take locally. You can volunteer and join organizations like Women Against Gun Violence or Moms Demand Action or Brady United Against Gun Violence, local organizations working together to make our communities safer. I'm Mike Feuer, the Los Angeles City Attorney. Thanks for watching.